First up today on AGetc, we're at the Kansas Farm Bureau booth at the Kansas State Fair with the Springer family. Next up, John Gonzalez, K-State Animal Science, is researching muscle fatigue in swine during transportation. Then Jennifer Latzke with High Plains Journal is talking wheat with Indigo CEO David Perry and farmer Doug Keesling. And we'll finish with Nebraska Rancher Jed Connealy talking about the new Angus Link program benefits. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
I'm Michael Springer, and this is my wife Christy, our son Mason, and our youngest son Cooper. And we're here as one of the faces of agriculture for the Kansas Farm Bureau booth here at the Kansas State Fair.
We think it's important because we want people to understand where their food comes from. And we wanted people to understand that we live on a family farm. We are a family business, but we are a family farm. We live right next to the piggies. So we drink the same water the piggy drinks. We live on the same land that the piggies live on. So we consider it a privilege to take care of the piggies and our land.
When I came back to the family farm in 2000, we still had a few pigs outside, and we moved those inside for multiple reasons. But the main reason is because we can do a better job taking care of the pigs, providing the pigs an optimal environment, providing the pigs with the right feed, providing them the health care they need, and so on and so forth. You know, we don't have any predator threat when we're inside a barn. And number two is we control the environment. In the wintertime, the optimal temperature of finishing barn is 60 to 65 degrees, and we'll be that all winter long, whether it's 65 degrees outside or negative 10. And we're able to, and then in the summertime, though the ideal temperature is 60 degrees, we can keep those pigs at or below 80 degrees and keep them comfortable in those barns almost every day. Other changes, you know, our pig farm has grown significantly, just like other pig farms. Why have we grown? We've grown to be competitive because it's taken the economies of scale in our business to continue to be competitive. One of the biggest changes I've seen in our operation is 20 years ago, any person we hired to work at our farm, we moved in from somewhere else. And today, 80% of the people that I hire to work on our farm live locally, and we've been able to bring people to our farm, train them that have never been around pigs before. And I personally, if we're talking to people and we can connect with 2 or 3 people and know that they understood and learned something from what we said, that's fun for me. I think just having interaction with people with farm and non-farm backgrounds, it's good for us. It helps us. Christy does a good job of keeping me at a level where I can explain something to someone that's never been from a farm, because she's come from a non-farm background. I find a lot of pride in seeing how well the boys adapt to that and how good a job they do explaining what we do to other people.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandring with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well on their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer and work with you.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
We're here today to actually affix accelerometers onto the transport trailers in order to measure the vibration profiles of these trailers during transport when they're full of pigs. We're going to use these vibration profiles so we can conduct controlled tests in the future and actually develop countermeasures or loading strategies to help producers have pigs not have muscle fatigue due to vibration during transportation. This is important for the producer for two reasons. First, it'll help them prevent losses financially, where we estimate there's anywhere in tens of millions of dollars lost a year. It'll also increase the welfare for these animals or well-being of these animals, because we estimate anywhere there's around 360,000 pigs lost last year during transportation due to muscle fatigue. It'll also improve food sustainability, because we estimate around 109 million meals were lost due to those pig losses, which will allow more food for the world.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide, presented by Lucas Oil, featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV, the all-new Better Horses Network.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Well, hi there. I'm Jennifer Latzke, and I'm an associate editor with High Plains Journal in Dodge City, Kansas. And we're here today with Indigo CEO David Perry. We're going to chat with him at our Wheat Solutions event here in Wichita. David, how did Indigo come to be? Where did this idea come from? You've got an entrepreneurial spirit. You've started several companies. Where did this come out from?
Well, it's a complex story, honestly. I grew up on a farm. I'm from Arkansas originally, and so started my life that way, and then went on to do other stuff. So I really spent the last 20 years of my career starting and running software companies and human health biotechnology companies. And when I had the opportunity in 2014 to step back and say, what do I want to do next? Mm-hmm. What I realized is that some of the biggest problems facing us as a planet and us as a society are the problems of food and agriculture. Namely, how are we going to feed everyone? Mm-hmm. How can we do it in a more environmentally sustainable way? How can we do it in a way that's healthier for consumers? And key to all of that is how can we do it in a way that's profitable for farmers? And so I was looking for technologies to apply to that, or business to start or buy, and found 13 scientists in a lab in Cambridge, Massachusetts, mm-hmm. working on microbiology using microbes to improve plant health and protect plants from stresses, and decided that thought it was the most interesting combination of technology and unmet need I'd seen, and moved to Boston to start Indigo.
Well, and it's really taking it to the plant level. You know, we're so used to, as farmers and ranchers, applying something on top of the ground, on top of the plants. And this is really ground level, looking at what actually makes that plant so healthy. That's quite fascinating, actually.
Yeah, well, one of the interesting things about microbes is, for most of human history, we've thought of them as the enemy. How do we get rid of microbes that cause disease? But we now know, just in the last 10 years or so, that microbes actually improve health of living things, including humans and agricultural crops. And by putting microbes on the seed, they then get taken up by the plants when that seed germinates, multiply inside of the plant, and can protect that plant throughout its lifespan.
Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So overall, when you look at the goals of Indigo, you have the goals for the farmer and the producers, and the goals for the consumers, ultimately, of our crops and our products.
Yeah.
How do you marry those two together? How do you make them match?
This match should be easy, and for all of human history, it's been easy, but for the last 50 years or so. Originally, farmers grew food for themselves and their close families, and then, gradually, as societies and civilizations expanded, there became a disconnect between the farmer that was growing the food and the consumer. And over the last 50 years, that disconnect has become greater than it's ever been before in human history. But consumers are looking to reclaim that connection. More than any time recently, consumers care about where their food comes from and how it's produced. And so we think we have the opportunity to give them that through transparency all the way from the farm to the consumer, so they know where that food comes from and how it was grown. And that's beneficial to the farmer too, because now, for the farmer, instead of just producing a commodity crop, they're actually producing a specialty, a value-added crop that meets the needs of that consumer, whatever they may be, whether that's lower carbon emissions or less water use, or whatever it is that's important to them.
You can track that from the field to the bin to the ultimate consumer.
Growers and consumers are fundamentally aligned. Everybody wants the same thing. Indigo's job is just connect those two things.
Well, I've heard this phrase tossed around a lot. It's a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
So what excites you about this? Having a farm background, working and talking with the farmers today, and talking with consumers, what excites you and makes you happy to wake up in the morning?
Well, I think it's the impact that we can have on agriculture. Agriculture is a little stuck. The innovation has really plateaued across the existing technologies, and that disconnect between consumers and farmers is working against both. If we can connect those together, it's better for everybody. We have a fundamental benefit to farmers because we can improve their profitability, and a fundamental benefit to consumers because we'll be able to provide them what they want.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This has been Jennifer Latzke with High Plains Journal. And for more information about this event and other events, please visit us online at www.hpj.com. Thanks again.
Thank you.
I'm Sarah, and this is my husband, Travis. We both grew up working on family ranches, me in Northern California and Travis in Kansas. We met in college, got married, and took corporate jobs in the beef industry. But soon we realized we missed the production side of the industry.
So we made the daring move to start our own cattle business in southeast Kansas, while also starting our family.
Watch our story and the stories of other young Kansas food producers at kansaslivingmagazine.com/meetafarmer.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandarin with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
Earlier in my life, I rode bucking horses in rodeos, and my shoulders took such a beating, and that was probably the reason for having several previous surgeries on both shoulders. About a year ago, I decided that I didn't want to have another surgery, and so I contacted Kansas Regenerative Medicine, took their treatment process. It was relatively pain-free. Now, after 8 months, my shoulders have healed to the point where I think I'm probably 90 to 95% of normal. It takes a couple of months to start to see results and feel real progress. That continued to increase gradually until now at approximately 8 months. And I'm extremely pleased. I've got full range of motion. I can lift weights, I can throw, I can do a lot of things that I couldn't do without a lot of pain previously. So I'm tickled to death with the results, and I'd recommend this process to anyone.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Latzke. I'm with High Plains Journal, and I'm here today with Doug Keesling, a farmer from Chase, Kansas, and we're here at the Indigo Wheat Solutions event. Doug, you're on our farmer panel today, and you have joined up with Indigo. What value did the Indigo system bring to your farm or ranch?
Well, it's a couple different points. There's extra value to it because I get paid more of a premium to it. So you've got that, plus you've just got the sustainability factor about being able to do the right thing in order to provide for our customers what they want.
Storage is a really key critical point of the whole process for Indigo. The ability to preserve identity of each of your varieties and the ability to store those separately. You come from a seed background, so you already had some storage built up. You rebuilt some after the tornado. What was important for you as far as storage on your farm, and what would you say to a producer who says, I don't have this capability, what am I going to do now?
Well, let's start with, I do have extra tanks, and so I do it on a field-by-field basis. So I try to have one grain tank to do each quarter section or whatever the field might be. That way I can keep each field identity preserved and do it that way, just as if I was doing it for seed production. Because different fields will have different quality traits. The proteins will be a little different, and test weights and all, and yield. So we can keep them separate. Now, if you don't have it, there are options. Indigo will work with you on a bagging system to bag it. They'll bring it out to your farm and work with you on bagging it and unbagging it when the time comes to do this. They have financing options if you want to expand your grain production or storage facilities between baggers and bins, and so you need to visit with your rep on that.
Okay. Final question. You're sitting around the coffee shop or the co-op or wherever you consume your beverages with your fellow farmers. What do you say when they say, tell me about Indigo? Why should I join up with them? What's the sales pitch from your perspective as a farmer?
From my perspective, it's right now everything's very tough in agriculture. The ag economy world is saying that we're lowest incomes. Well, this is just one way to increase our revenue on a per acre basis. It's a couple fold. Not only do you have the premiums, you have agronomic help that they help you with, and so instead of paying for an agronomist, they're helping you with some of that, and you get some more technologies then to help you with another set of eyes to maybe increase your yield potential on those acres, to help you out in that regard that you're not paying for, but it's a benefit to you. So part of it's a benefit and part of it's a direct reaping in the premiums.
Speaking of benefits and agronomic benefits, you grew some Indigo wheat last year. What did you see in your fields, having grown wheat your entire life and being a couple of generations of wheat farmers in your background? Did you see some differences with that microbial treatment, and what was your experience there?
Well, this year was an interesting year with the drought and lack of rainfall all along. I wasn't really sure. I did see that the field was greener throughout the winter. It came up better in the winter with very little rainfall compared to some of the other fields. So I was able to cover the ground better and have that there. That's really good on a lot of different cases. Then when it came to harvest, we had a yield bump. And so that yield bump is what puts the money in my pocket, not how it comes up or things like this. And so that was the number one thing for me, was to be able to get an increase in production. So, and the varieties, it's nice because I got a yield bump raising varieties that are better for the consumer. So it was better for me, but it was better for the consumer also.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Doug. For High Plains Journal, I'm Jennifer Latzke, and for more stories like this and more, please visit us at www.hpj.com. Thanks again, Doug.
Thanks.
Tarwater Farm and Home has been family-owned and operated since its beginning in 1978. What you need for farm and agriculture, lawn and garden, clothing and footwear, and so much more. You'll be surprised at what you'll find in this huge store. They have what you need and lots of it. So come take a look. You'll discover that customer service is first and foremost. Always has been with the Tarwaters. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard. Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley.
This Medford, New Jersey school bus runs on biodiesel, and so do these. In fact, all of these buses run on clean-burning biodiesel, which is great because the more we use biodiesel in our heavy-duty vehicles, the less carbon pollution in our air. Think how great it would be if more of our school buses ran on biodiesel. More biodiesel, less carbon pollution. More is less. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Hi, I'm Randy.
And I'm Paul from PFI.
We would like to personally invite you to stop by PFI, home of Boot Daddies.
PFI is America's Western store, covering over 50,000 square feet.
Over 25,000 boots.
Visit Saddle City with the largest selection of saddles and tack anywhere.
A huge selection of hats at Big Spur Hat Company in PFI Town.
And choose from the best brands of clothing and accessories for the entire family.
PFI, located on Highway 65 at the Battlefield exit in Springfield. And I'm not kidding.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Angus Link was developed to help commercial producers learn more about their herd, then market that potential to cattle feeders. The program launched last month, and registered breeder Jed Connealy helped his customers get enrolled.
The Angus Link deal has been a real valuable thing for any Angus, commercial Angus producer, because it not only is a marketing tool for their calves and helps promote them to feedlots and show the genetic merit and potential that those calves have for a feeder, but it's also it's a gauge for them as to where their herd is, and if there's a strong suit or a weak point, it can be addressed off of the Angus Link scores.
The program reports 3 separate scores: beef, grid, and feedlot performance. They're computed from the American Angus Association's database.
If the producer scores over a 125, say on the grid deal, that shows that they've got a good marbling score in their herd, that, if those cattle are going to go to the grid, they're really well versed to market there. Inversely, on the feedlot score, points a little towards daily gain, conversion, intake. And so somebody can take their herd, get those scores. If they're a little short on the grid or something, they can target some higher marbling genetics in their bulls and move that score pretty quick.
Not everyone gets the numbers they hope for, but that's okay. Connealy has advice if the initial numbers are disappointing.
You use it. It's a tool. Facts are facts and numbers are numbers, and if we're scared of those numbers, making progress is going to be a hard thing to do. So if those scores aren't where you want them to be, you can, the quickest way to improve a herd is through genetics. So we can take those genetics and take those scores, change our selection criteria a little bit, and adjust them, and we'll re-enroll next year in 2 years. I would like to see people enroll every year.
Connealy also says enrollment is easy, and it's well worth the time and the $4.50 per head fee.
For the investment that we all make in our herd and in our livelihood, this is just something we can use to fine-tune it.
Visit anguslink.com for more information. I'm Bob Cervera.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.